Chatham House, Nigeria's presidential election not conducted in line with Inec's guideline. Wow. The same Chatham House in London, where all of them went to talk about how they're going to make Nigeria a better place. Okay. Some of them, like Tinubu, that refused to attend presidential debate in Nigeria, rather choose to go to Chatham House to talk. Okay. And all of them went there to talk individually, to tell the international community how they intend to rule to make Nigeria a better place. Now, the same Chatham House has come out to say that the presidential election was not conducted in line with Inec guidelines, meaning that is the height of international election observation. Okay, and it is clear that the ruling party has actually failed. Inec has failed in several forms, okay, to disappoint everybody, both home and abroad. Chatham House, an independent policy institute based in London, has stated that from its analysis of the February 25 presidential election, it would appear that the Independent National Electoral Commission failed to learn new lessons. The organization stressed that the electoral umpire failed to adhere to its own guidelines, which it enunciated before the poll, especially the one bordering on the uploading of results in real time. The London-based institute made the assertions just as Fitch Solutions lowered Nigeria's social stability score in its proprietary short-term political risk index, okay, to 17.5, okay, out of 100. Wow, down from 25% previously projected, following what it described as the aftermath of the weak mandate claimed by the country's president-elect Bola Tinubu. Inec has last Wednesday announced the former Lagos State governor as winner of the keenly contested presidential poll. However, the contending parties refused to accept the verdict of the electoral umpire. While the presidential candidate of Labour Party, Peter Obi, approached the courts to overturn the result, the People Democratic Party candidate, Mr. Abubakar Atiku, who had also announced plans to challenge the outcome of the election in court, led a protest against the result on Monday, stating that Nigeria's presidential election results had put disenfranchisement in the spotlight. Chatham House noted that despite boasting the biggest electoral register in Africa of 93.4 million voters, fewer than 25 million valid votes were counted in Nigeria's 2023 election. What an irony. Writing for the body, the Associate Fellow, African Program, Dr. Lena Coney Hoffman, noted that the delayed opening of the polls meant that many potential voters were not able to vote. Chatham House, also known as the Royal Institute of International Affairs, prides itself as an independent policy institute headquartered in London. Its stated mission is to provide commentary on world events and offer solutions to global challenges. Founded in 1920, Chatham House engages the government, the private sector, civil society, and its members in open debate. All the major presidential candidates in Nigeria were visitors to the organization before the presidential election. That is true. That is true. According to Chatham House, the result announced by the chair of Inec, Mahmoud Yakubu, showed that the incumbent APC candidate Tinubu received 8.87 million votes, roughly one-third of the total. His main challengers, Atiku of PDP in his sixth attempt, and Obi of LP, the organization said, garnered 7 million and 6.1 million votes respectively. Hoffman wrote, the INEC's performance and controversies over these results mean that the electoral reforms and lessons declared to have been learned were not fully applied. And as an electoral body, it was significantly less prepared than it claimed. That's a very good one. The logistical failures of INEC and widespread delayed opening of polling units meant that voters who showed up at the polls early were frustrated, and many voters and INEC staff were not able to locate their polling units for several hours. Chatham stated that Nigerians queued in the sun and rain to cast their vote, despite recurrent fear crisis, epileptic power supply, record inflation, and a painful cash crunch. Yet it noted that thousands of voters were disenfranchised and multiple irregularities were recorded, as well as intimidation and violence, as noted by election observers. Chatham House stated less than half of eligible voters could participate in the election, despite the Commission's 305 billion naira budgetary allocation. While Nigerians youth seemed energized leading up to the elections, it seems their ability to turn out is still being hugely constrained by how difficult and potentially dangerous it is to cast a vote in Nigeria. The Inec's performance and controversies over these results mean that the electoral reforms and lessons declared to have been learned were not fully applied. This is a big one. This is a big one coming from Chatham House. Okay, this is a big one coming from Chatham House. It failed to adhere to its own statement and guidelines, okay, which derive from its law that election results would be uploaded to its portal using the BVS directly from the polling unit in real time for the public's viewing. Chatham House added regarding Inec. Having just 23% of the public's trust going into the 2023 election, Chatham noted that the need for strict transparency by Inec in this crucial phase of electronic result transmission could not be overstated and should not be downplayed. Inec's suboptimal performance, the organization said, must be taken seriously because Nigeria's path to recovery and stability must follow the way of accountability and electoral integrity. This one now, wow. So this is what Chatham House is writing. Very long essay, okay? And the whole of the report is discrediting the performance of the Inec in this election. What they have done is different from what the Inec chairman told the Chatham House when he went to London to present his case and how Inec intends to conduct the election. Everything he said and boasted in Chatham House, he didn't perform up to 20% of it in real time during the presidential election, ranging from having the largest number of voter registration in Africa, okay, of about 93.4 million, only how many million? About 20 million people actually voted. So that is another very bad thing that happened, okay? And not being able to upload voters' result from polling unit in real time to the server was also another flaw, and he promised that in Chatham House when he went there. In fact, everything about the election, everything about the report is zero. It's really zero. So, somebody say, Iroyin Eleje, fake news from self-appointed mouthpiece of Chatham House. What concerns Chatham House with Nigeria? These are APC bigots. That's the truth. When they talk, you know them. Okay, you will know what concerns Chatham House when you reach to run election. You people should keep supporting evil. They are supporting evil, sacrificing the destiny of their own generation. That is the truth. Anything you do now that is tantamount to the destruction of democracy and good thing in Nigeria, you will also suffer it because your own family, your own children and grandchildren, your generation will suffer it as well. It's just like a person went through stone up for market. You can fall back on you, can fall back on your family members. That is what Inec is doing. That is what APC is doing. And that is what all the supporters of APC are doing. Professor Mahmoud Yakubu went to Chatham House and told the whole world, okay, about his guidelines to conducting the election. Yet, he deliberately turned off the presidential server to perfect his nefarious act at rigging the worst election in the history of Nigeria, after assuring the youths and everyone, shame to him and APC. And that is the truth. Shame to him and APC. Okay, maybe in line with the British colonial guidelines. Now, wow. Same politicians, new technology, nothing will change. Okay, you need new people and new technology to make things work. That's why we need Obidati, okay, a breath of fresh air. God bless Nigeria. Stupid people You want a recolonization of Nigeria again. They are not. They're telling you it's not. It's what Nigeria and Inec man went there to talk. They're judging him by what he said and by the documentations of Inec that we have. That is the truth. So it's quite unfortunate that we're in this mess, but it shows that Nigeria, INEC, and APC have been disgraced both locally and internationally. This is a global disgrace, and it's quite unfortunate. So thank you for listening. Let's have your comment.